Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, to my Fitness for Eternity, sending you positive vibes and energy here on a fantastic Friday afternoon in sensational Sydney, Australia. I am now 4 weeks out from the WBFF Australian PRO-Am. And don't let the smile fool you, I am extremely low on energy. Right now I'm trying to muster every little ounce of energy that I have in my body right now to get through this chest and arms session. Certainly feeling the pinch with just 4 weeks to go until showtime, but whilst my calories are low, my motivation levels are sky high, and I'm really looking forward to the prospect of stepping on stage. But I'm very much well aware that all the hard work needs to be done right here, right now. So let's get into it. Now is the time. Don't try to hide, 'cause I'm gonna harm you like an animal. I know you thought it was over. I know you thought it was finished. I know you think I'm a cynic. Alright, so I am finishing off the working week with a chest and arms session. Pre-party pump before going out tonight? Not very likely. I don't have the energy for that. But starting off with chest, we're going to start off with dumbbell incline chest press, focusing on the clavicular head of the pecs, so the upper pec portion, aiming for around 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. I'm going to follow that up with another compound pressing movement around 8 to 10 repetitions before the volume progressively gets higher along with the rep schemes. For the time being, let's jump into this. So needless to say, with 4 weeks to go until show day, my energy levels are significantly low. I've been working with my coach Polo to work out the best possible training and nutrition strategy leading into show day, and the ideal set of circumstances is that we're well and truly ready 2 weeks prior. As a consequence, at this particular point in time, I'm very much feeling the pinch because we're taking a more aggressive approach. We're dropping calories a little bit earlier and lower than we usually would. And whilst it is difficult at the moment to get through this training session and to get through each day, because my energy levels are, say, at around, I don't know, a 2 out of 5 right now, it's at this particular point in time in my prep that I want to be feeling that pinch. I think in the past, whenever I've either dieted down for a competition or a photo shoot or just anything, I've always associated that depleted feeling with progress and results. So I think that when you start feeling that pinch, when you start feeling depleted, when you're tired, lethargic and run down, you're pushing through each session and you start seeing significant changes on your physique in the mirror, there's that cause and effect relationship and you're willing to push yourself through it. And with 4 weeks to go, I think I'm just dialing in mentally right now. I'm rounding that final bend and I'm entering the home straight, and I've just got my eyes firmly fixed on the prize. The finish line's in sight, and right now, where in the past it was all about sustainability and appropriately pacing yourself to put yourself in the most advantageous position, I'm in that position now. So right now that I'm in this position where I really need to step things up a notch, I need to muster that energy And if I don't have it through the food that I'm eating, I need to muster it up in here, between my ears. So right now it is very much a mental game, but I think in the last week, my psyche has significantly shifted. Whilst my mood throughout the day is probably like a 2 out of 5, I'm conscious that, you know, the result is the focus right now. The end sight is there. One thing that I am conscious of, knowing that my mood is fluctuating day to day, is not projecting negativity onto other people. I think in my first prep a number of years ago in 2012, I made the mistake of projecting my negativity or my negative mood and mindset onto other people, those closest to me, and as a result, just because I was suffering through something, I felt that they needed to bear the burden with me, whereas now I'm more conscious and aware that this is something that I've made a conscious decision to do, and I shouldn't project any just negative moods or outward emotions onto other people because they don't deserve it, especially if they're supporting you. So I'm very quick to pull myself in line should I ever be prone to snapping. Not that I ever do now, but I am quite withdrawn in terms of my personality. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a rather energetic, outgoing guy. But right now, subconsciously, just because you don't have the food, you find yourself subconsciously conserving energy, and if that means that you're not as responsive, it's not a reflection of me being passive aggressive or not engaging. It's simply a case of I'm just not able to muster the energy. So it's just interesting just to see how my mood is influencing my outward behaviour, but I am very conscious of not projecting that negativity onto other people. In the wise words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, focus. So as my calories drop, my energy levels drop, and as a result my performance in the gym will deteriorate. At the moment I would rate my strength around a 2 out of 5. And I mean, this is just an inevitable part of comp prep. Your energy levels go down, you're not able to lift the same weights that you were capable of doing during your off season, but it was during the off season that you were lifting these heavy loads and accumulating volume to build the muscle in the first place. So if you're not able to lift those heavy loads in order to retain that adaptation, it's very important to accumulate that volume by other means. So if I can't lift the same heavy loads that I once was, what I need to do is lower the weight, increase either the number of repetitions I perform or the number of sets I perform. So I'm increasing volume and reducing the intensity. And that can have the benefit of not only accumulating the volume that I need to hit in order to retain the lean muscle mass, but it also has that benefit of, by doing more volume, by doing higher rep work, by doing metabolite focused work, you're also increasing your energy expenditure. So on top of all the cardio that I'm doing, all the daily steps that I'm doing with my non-essential activity throughout the day, by increasing the volume and doing the metabolite work, I'm also looking to increase the energy expenditure and just burn more calories to get leaner. So one of the things that's been frustrating me over the last month is that one week I'll have a week of really restful night's sleep, and then I'll have another week where I'm prioritizing other factors, whether it's work or my mind is racing about comp prep and the next thing that I need to do. And as a consequence, I have really disruptive, interrupted sleep. And it's sort of frustrating me because I know how important sleep is, and I know I've touched on it a number of times throughout this vlog series, is that if I want to make the body composition changes I want to make, I need to be getting the minimum 7 to 8 hours sleep that I need to. At the moment it's 2 out of 5, and again this week I'm going to have to make a renewed focus to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can to switch off. And if that means that certain elements of my life need to go on the back burner like work, well at this particular point in time with 4 weeks out, I'm going to have to make those sacrifices within reason. Obviously I need to remain accountable to my clients and to obligations that I have, but if that means that I need to forego other areas of my life to make that happen, then so be it. I think something that's interesting is the last time I did a competition in April, my most restful night's sleep of the entire competition prep was actually the night before the competition, which I didn't expect. Usually I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve. But I think I just reached a stage where I was so exhausted and I'd done everything I possibly could to that point in time that I couldn't do anything more. So I actually got a really nice restful night's sleep, and I think the more relaxed I become over the next few weeks, the more confident I am in terms of the physique that I'm presenting, the more restful my night's sleeps will become. But they're sort of got to go hand in hand. I'm not going to get that physique unless I get the night's sleep. So sleep's a priority at the moment. I'll make sure it happens. So with 4 weeks to go, calories are low and subsequently hunger levels are inevitably going to be sky high. It's at this particular point where I get rather creative in terms of the foods that I select in my diet. I think in the past, a number of years ago, when I went through a dieting phase, I didn't quite know how to manage my hunger levels appropriately, but what I've realized through years of experience is that you can manage hunger through things like drinking water, which can effectively fill your stomach up and make you feel fuller. Also, the volume of food that you have is not necessarily indicative of the caloric density of the food that you might be consuming. So I'm selecting high volume foods. Cauliflower rice is a really good dieting hack. I'm having a wide assortment and variety of fibrous vegetables. the caloric density of those foods is significantly smaller, but I'm able to fill myself up. So I'm having a high protein diet with high volume foods that are not very calorie dense. So I'm tending to gravitate towards lean meats like kangaroo, fish like bassa, obviously chicken breast, lean turkey mince. So they're my high protein food sources. But then to just manage that hunger, I'm having that wide assortment and variety of fibrous vegetables, and I'm using seasoning for flavor. In terms of cravings, you know, I tend to have cravings here and there, but I think just because I know where I'm at in terms of this stage of the dieting phase, I'm conscious that the finish line is in sight, and I'm willing to just go through the hunger pains for now. But just little dieting hacks like drinking plenty of water, having fibrous high volume foods that are low in calorie density. It's helping me manage hunger a whole lot better than when I first started out with this whole fitness caper a number of years ago. That is me done and dusted. Friday night pre-party pump before I find my way to my bed to sleep and recover. Guys, if you have any questions relating to my competition prep, make sure that you leave your questions in the comments section below, and also take this opportunity to read the description to find out how you can go in with a chance to win this week's competition. Until next time guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.